Dream big. There's no other option. Channel PK Town.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Pichi Kimchi Podcast with PK. I came here straight from work every week. We have very special guests here today. My longtime friend, my homie, Dumbfoundead. And we have 3/4 of the new documentary, Bad Rap, in the house, which I'm very excited to see. I got my hoodie. I apologize to the producer because I made a big-ass fuss.
We got to go into
about my
that. That's
fucking
hilarious.
hoodie, but I got it. And I rock it here at Laugh Factory on stage. So welcome. Thank you for coming through.
Hey, thanks for
We
having
got
us, man.
we got Rekstizzy
How you
and
doing?
Awkwafina.
Hey, what's up?
I'm a big fan of both of you, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Both from the
Appreciate
East
it.
Coast. Rekstizzy now lives in Los Angeles. Awkwafina is visiting, but soon to be moving here.
Okay.
She's gonna move here. She will.
Maybe
This
one
guy's
day.
doing a strong campaign.
I
to
want
get all
all-
his friends.
Yeah, I
on
want all my
the
friends
West
over
Coast.
here because some of my close friends are in the East Coast.
Yeah. Well, how did you guys all meet?
That's a good question.
How did you guys meet?
So my earliest memory of Dumbfounded is he did a freestyle, but I started a talent show called Collaboration. Check it out.
You started collaboration?
No,
Fuck
he's
yeah, I
a-
started Collaboration. That's what's up.
Shit, okay.
That's the kind of love that I
Okay.
see. People don't know.
You mean collaboration?
Collaboration. Well, I gotta get props to Roy Choi, my young, because first 4 years, it was just a K-Town show, like a Korean show.
Mm.
And then when Roy was like, "Hey, you want to partner up? Let's blow this up," because he has money. I used to like use my credit card, borrow money from my Mayhyung, and then I was like in debt, grassroots, and then I did everything right. And then he's like, "Hey, why don't we make it Asian? Like, why just Korean?"
Yeah.
So he funded it, and then we just Chicago, New York, Toronto, Atlanta,
Yeah, I headlined collaboration
14
New York.
cities,
Yeah,
and
she
she
collabed in
headlined
shit
New
like
York.
that. Yep.
Right? It was great.
He's
I
played.
sat in the audience.
But front
Cool.
row
So
though.
didn't you
Yeah.
judge one year?
Nah.
Oh.
So dumb.
That ends that portion of it. No, but I mean, I was part of it early on,
Yeah.
and that's how I met him. You know, I've taken
16, 15,
I mean,
15 years old.
I-
and I
15
was-
different collaborations.
No,
Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
Actually, I did too, but I mean, it's just I played every role in as far as like judging,
Every
performing,
role.
competing in it. Like,
MCing.
Oh, shit.
You
Yeah.
won a competition.
did I MC one year?
You've hosted.
No, I've hosted.
You were
It's
the-
brief.
He's
John's
one-
funny
we
when he
co-hosted.
MCs.
Yeah, we
He's
co-hosted.
funny.
He's all over the place.
We
The one year we
co-hosted.
did if we did a Simon Cowell thing, he stole the show. He was killing it, like
Yeah.
making comments.
roasting motherfuckers.
But I remember 15 years old, you came up. I was 15, I remember, but freestyle battle, and that's when everybody started knowing about.
Yeah, I
Dumbfounded
lost.
from
I lost
K-Town.
lyrics actually.
Really?
No, that was like the
No, that
That
was
was
when
like
I was,
few
that
years
was when I
later.
was 15. That was
Few years
when
later.
I was about like 20, 21. That's when me and Rick first met.
Oh my
And
God.
he definitely had a written from Virginia. He's
no,
like,
no,
"I'm
Rick,
coming
no,
up."
but no, Rick is a great freestyler. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he actually did beat me fair and square, and that was like a pretty crazy like
Yeah.
night. You know?
That's
'cause-
It was huge.
Crazy.
Yeah, I think
Who knew?
that video is up somewhere.
Yeah, and I made sure it got eliminated from YouTube everywhere.
So I've seen every phase, and then we've partied a lot. But I'm freaking old. I'm almost 40,
Oh my God.
and I have
You look
kids.
great.
Oh, thanks. I have kids, and so my life has faded. But I vicariously follow you guys through social media.
Right.
So and I've seen you so many times. Big
Oh,
fan.
nice.
And then Rekstizzy's one of the quirkiest, funniest guys.
Yeah.
Kawaii for
Shit,
men, cute
making-
things for
making
men.
me cry so early on in the podcast.
Oh yeah,
Making
yeah.
him cry and blink a lot.
But how'd you guys hook up?
How did we hook up?
Yeah.
No, me and Rek. You know what's funny? Rek reached out to me when I released my first ever album.
You always
online.
gets this story fucked up.
No, you did. That's how we met first, right?
No, we met first in the green room of Epic High.
Oh
Tour,
yeah, Epic High, yeah.
And we bonded
York.
because we hated like everybody.
So Asian.
We hated other Asian rappers.
At an Epic High
Yeah.
concert.
At an
Yeah.
Epic High concert, in New York, I was hosting it. He came out, and we just started talking. And I remembered him because he hit me up before, I think previously.
I think we gave each other like 10 pounds.
Yeah,
We're like,
yeah.
yo, they suck. It was just like, nah, stop.
Bonding on who sucks.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's the Korean way.
I think all of us kind of.
It's the Korean way.
I know me and Rek, like we've from a long time ago, we've always tried to like look out for other Asian talent online and come across stuff, and that's actually how we met Awkwafina too.
Yeah,
Because
Dumb followed me first. And
Yeah.
it was, I didn't know who Dumb was, but my filmmaker who made like my videos was obsessed with Dumb. And he was like, "Yo, Dumbfoundead just followed you." And I was
Well,
like,
but the thing is, I think we had a group chat with
Yeah.
me, Rec, and some other guys, like
Yeah.
other Asian cats, and we always share like links to cool Asian shit in there. You know, 'cause we're like, check this out, like, you know, 'cause we're passionate about.
You told
it.
me about that. I remember.
Yeah, we're passionate about, you know, Asian American shit and like cool stuff coming out of our community. So like somebody, I don't know if it was you or something, put in the link for Aquafina's.
What is it, like a Dropbox?
No, it's
Facebook
just a
chat.
group chat,
Facebook
a
chat.
message,
Group
Facebook chat. You know,
Imagine some young
Yeah.
kids getting in there. Look at what they're sharing. This is the cool shit.
No, we're
we
literally
actually
in there
started over
packing-
oh, you
sometimes
did?
No,
because-
we're literally in
Oh.
there like every day. All of
Yeah,
us are in
yeah.
there every day.
When you had that
Fucking
studio,
shit.
remember in K-Town?
yeah,
Yeah, I remember you talking
And
about
so we're in this group chat every day. We share stuff, and then we finally shared. One Rec or somebody put in the link for My Vag, which was the viral
Amazing.
video.
Yeah.
Amazing
We
video.
clicked it.
So-
We were like, "Yo, this is actually fucking good," you know.
Great.
And we were like, "Yo, this girl's like cute, not weird, like too hip hopped out and shit," you know, like some other people.
Because every like Asian female rapper like looks like they're overcompensating, like they're like so hip hop, they're doing a head spin while tagging their name and rapping
Well, yeah,
about the 4 or 5.
That was one big thing, is that she looked like just some hipster chick from like Brooklyn and stuff.
Yeah,
and we like that kind of
so
shit. You know?
different.
Yeah, so we actually reached out, you know what I mean? Like I'm always on top of that. Like I want to work with people that I like and shit. So I reached out, and then she came out to one of my shows in New York,
and that's when I met him for the first time.
and then that's when we all met at the same time. And then since then we've been like best friends.
Inseparable.
We're literally all like best friends. My closest friends are these two and like Rick.
I know. Every time you go to New York, I see pictures of you guys.
Yeah,
there
Rick,
all the
Dan,
time.
and Rick the Cypher. Those are all like my closest friends.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, just to build on what we were saying earlier about like hating on Asian rappers, I think we do that because we care so much. Like we want them to be ill, and then once we found an Awkwafina or like anybody else that we think is dope, we fucking support heavy.
Well, to be real,
You
we're
know?
being also assholes.
Right,
too.
right,
It's
right.
not just like, oh, we're doing it for the culture. No,
Was
no,
it-
we're big assholes.
That's why bad rap is interesting, because you actually, there's footage in there from the first day we met at that show. And it's interesting to watch it now because it's like 3 years later, we became really close, you know? And I think there's a lot to be said that we say, you know, about like the industry, and
Well,
we're in the same boat.
Wait,
that-
so you guys knew each other then?
Nah.
New York?
We all
I
met at
them
the same
first
time.
day
Oh, you guys all
time.
met at the same
3
time.
years
You
ago.
see, the doc is interesting because we're all real friends. Like Rick, them two, and me, we hang out all the time together. And we
Yeah.
talk to each other every day. Like
Right.
every day we talk to each other. So like,
Yeah.
that's why the doc is cool, because when we were asked questions about each other and all this stuff, we knew things about each other, like brutally honest, and we've shared before. So it wasn't weird for us to like beat around the bush.
Right,
And
right.
it was like we didn't beat them around the bush. We were just real with it because
Yeah.
we knew it wouldn't hurt each other's feelings. We've talked about each other's music and criticize each other
Yeah,
about
we're
stuff,
like
you
each
know?
other's harshest critics, for
Yeah.
sure.
So
Ray, that poster is so fucking dope. Whoever
Yeah.
made
It
that, that is
is.
so sick.
Someone just wrote on my Twitter, "Is that the Asian version of the firm?"
yeah.
It looks like that poster.
no,
Was
it's it's yeah, it's
The
a
vibe,
Yeah,
that's bro.
better devised version of a previous
Right.
poster.
West Coast. Oh wait, so was there in LA? I remember there was this kind of the scene. You know, this guy Kubla Kwan, even though
Okay.
he was annoying as
Fuck
hell.
Kubla.
We
Is it
just talked-
Annoying as hell. I gotta give respect that he helped, you know, facilitate
I'm
all.
working with Kubla right now. Actually.
Oh, okay,
He's-
yeah.
He's booked my.
Well, I
spring
pray
break.
for you, yeah. And then it's fucking
I
annoying.
didn't work
No, the thing.
Kubla, I love and hate you.
This is the interesting thing is like the grassroots, you know, kings of like Asian shows and all that stuth. Like PK is one of them.
Oh wow.
Kubla is one of them.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
that motherfucker's like damn near Anakin and shit. You know what I mean? Like he was like the force went wrong with it. Like
Yeah.
no, he was like what's that brother in Thor, Loki?
Loki,
Like, that's
yeah,
him. You know
yeah.
what I
His
mean?
Loki.
Loki, like he's like the evil brother.
Like
Yeah,
I helped him put together the first Asian hip hop summit, and then I remember we'd meet, but then he'd be like, "White people are the devil." I'm like, "What? That's not the
Yeah, see,
whole
that's,
point."
that's why I don't fuck with certain Asian cats. I don't like it when
They do that too much.
I don't like it when they're like Asian extremists. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't
Yeah.
like that shit.
I think a lot of that has to do with their upbringing and maybe the way
Their
they were
own
treated and stuff.
insecurities.
Yeah, it is, and now
Well,
it's
it's like smoking weed while reading history books.
yeah, exactly. They don't know. I also think it has a lot to do with them not confronting it head
Yeah.
on. You know what I mean? And I think they built this like hate and world that doesn't
Yeah.
exist, and because they
You
refuse-
project it.
All I know
You
is
project
this,
it out
If you are
and
comfortable
you-
with yourself, you don't hate anything. You
Exactly.
Don't hate anybody.
Right.
You don't hate any groups.
Right.
You know, if you
Yeah.
have that's projection. You know what I mean? Like we
Yeah,
live
yeah.
in America, so we can't say we hate white people.
They
Yeah.
refuse to confront these things. Like if
Yeah.
there is, of course, like all that stuff exists. Yes, racism amongst everybody, but if you're not willing to confront it, then you're just creating this fictional world in your head.
Right.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? You don't know. Like you
Yeah,
really
yeah.
don't know. You're taking an experience like of you getting bullied 10 years ago and creating what your life is going to be for the rest of your life and your mentality on life.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
fucked up.
So
Really fucked up.
I'm asking because this is all I knew about the New York scene because I would visit New York for collaboration.
Wow.
Collaboration. So there was like a LA scene, right? Like Dumbfoundead was one of the main guys, and then but for collaboration, it was more like singers, dancers. But every collaboration city. This is why I like this podcast because I really like talk about what happened. Every collaboration is like very wholesome. All
Yeah.
the staff member, we have an after party. It's like, yeah, we fucking did it. Yeah, cheers.
Yeah.
New York was the only city we had a club promoter do it. He's now the manager at MK over there. And
Oh, wow.
Wait,
yeah.
who?
Woo.
Oh,
Fucking
Woo?
Woo. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Woo,
not the glasses guy.
No,
is it?
Woo,
Jake
Woo.
Paul.
Woo used to be he was the first New York
I
collaboration.
never knew that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Oh, I think you told me that actually.
Yeah.
I
I'll
never
fucking
knew
say
that. I
Woo
didn't know
knows. I'll fucking say
No,
this.
we're MK regulars.
Oh, I'm
that's why.
fucking. There's
Yeah.
it's the same shit. It's the circle
Yeah,
MK.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Fucking,
yeah. Cheers
We
bar,
love
it's like
Woo.
the saddest thing ever.
yeah, it's fucking. Yeah, let's do.
MKs are blue.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah.
All right, so get your story over
Third
with.
floor circle MK. I think
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
done that
Yeah, exactly.
15 times.
Yeah.
Anyways, so New York collaboration staff would go to the after party, then we go back to the hotel for the staff, the collaboration
Mhm.
staff. Everybody's fucking doing lines and shit. I'm like, hey, whoa, this is collaboration. He goes, and I'm never gonna forget. He goes, what? He's like, yeah, I mean, like, this
I
is
think
New
he's
York.
telling that Cornell story.
He's like, what? And then I'm like, yo, this is collaborate, like, and everybody's playing. I'm like, when Cat Williams is like in Hollywood, people go, and he's like, I can see you there. Like, are you doing right from my
But
face?
that's what the stereotype. Remember with Harold and Kumar? There was like that girl, like that Korean girl, just like come party with us.
The
And
Asian
it was, like,
org,
this is
yeah.
what this is
Right,
what
right,
we're
right.
doing it. But then later they're like turned up.
Yeah.
That's the funny thing about like collaboration is like you think that it's like a PG show,
Yeah.
but then they fucking turn up.
Yeah,
Well,
because
I mean, most
of them are
PG,
very
right? Most
wholesome
are
PG,
yeah,
most
but
of
you
them.
gotta,
Some of those though.
think about even like we've done college shows, YouTube
Yeah,
PK
yeah.
with us, like,
Yeah.
and then the shows are so PG.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And then the
Yeah.
parties
Yeah, it gets-
afterwards, we
yeah,
get
yeah.
lit.
It gets
Like
pretty crazy.
me and Nora, we just did the college tour last year, and we knocked out like 10 these student shows all at once, like back to back. We were in Cornell. We were just wilding out, doing mad drugs and shit. We're doing drugs in like this fucking frat house.
Well, the
Yeah,
kids
yeah.
were doing more drive. We were.
Yeah, we were there.
smoking.
We were chill. Yeah, but we were partying too and
Yeah.
stuff. And then all of a sudden, like, the fucking alarm goes off and shit. And we're just like, what the fuck? Somebody playing dubstep or some shit? We open the fucking door and the smoke alarm is going off and it's not stopping. It's loud. And all of a
Everyone's
sudden we
smoking.
look out this like college kid is like doing a line in front of us. And then we look outside the window and the fucking an ambulance pulls up.
Because in frat houses, you can't turn off the smoke alarm, so
Oh,
the police
yeah.
have to do it for you.
So yeah, so Nora's like, yo, we gotta get out of here. So we
I was
walk.
like, I'm not going to jail for
We
this
walk
shit. I'm
out.
not going.
We walk out with the college host right outside. We step out, and then the cops like, what's going on in there? And then the college kid just lies off the bat. It's like, oh yeah, we just had a birthday. Blew
at
out some
first it was
birthday
fine. At first he
candles.
was like, we were, someone must have smoked a cigarette in the upstairs room. Then it like kind of evolved, and he was like, it was my boy's birthday, and we blew out the
Yeah, and now with that lie, we need a fucking
And then I
cake
was
and
like,
shit. Like,
so
that's
dumb. Let's get the fuck out. I'm not going out. I'm not going
yeah.
out.
We're like, yo, we're almost 30. We can't be caught with these college kids with drugs and shit.
Imagine
Like,
if we got arrested with a bunch of college kids. That would have been the lowest point of my life.
Yeah. No, I guess what I'm saying is I only saw the New York finance, like that scene, like people working and let's do that. But I never got to meet anybody in the New York hip hop scene until that's what I'm saying is like, was there
I
a
just wanna say,
scene?
before we go into that, I just want to commend these two for snitching on a bunch of college kids like that.
we didn't snitch on
If
them.
you asked us what their names were, I would not be able to.
No, I remember when I did.
snitching on college.
I remember I
kids.
did comedy at Yale a long time ago, stand up. Yale, freaking nerds. And then afterwards, we all went to go party. And then they got an envelope, like a manila envelope. And then I'm like, what is that? And they're like, oh, we get our drugs mailed to us. And there's like there was like a sheet you check.
Right.
Weed, X.
Yeah,
Like
but
what
you'd
the
be
hell? You
surprised
like
how
mailing
much
it?
those smart kids schools turn up. They fucking turn
Yeah,
up.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Cornell was turned
Well,
up.
they turn up the most.
Yeah.
You know, I
There's
think,
nothing around there.
yeah,
too,
and it's
yeah.
you know it's stressful. You know what I mean? That's all it is. We remember that we've gone to college shows.
Yeah,
We've
yeah.
done our fair share of college runs
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
and partied our ass off. You know, like
Dumbfoundead did a freestyle session that was epic. It was like, remember that one? It was
Yeah.
like a 4-hour
the
freestyle
Costu
session.
in Massachusetts. It was that was my glory days.
Nice.
Now it's just sad when I freestyle at a frat
Yeah.
house and
Well,
shit.
Dumb would go party with these frat boys, and me and Zoe would leave, and it would just be Dumb. They'd be like, freestyle, freestyle. And he's like, I can't. All right. And then he would do it.
I damn near fucking cried one night. It was
You must
Yeah.
have people pick you up and just have joints ready for you, right? Like just
Yeah, and you know what? It's
Fun.
annoying because as I get older too, like my preferences in drugs or the way I drink or my intake has changed. You know what I'm saying? Like I just don't smoke as much weed anymore.
Yeah.
You know, so like I
go up and do coke like a man.
No, it's not even that. It's just
I'm
like
fucking around.
I just calmed down a lot in general, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
So like
yeah.
a lot of people associated me for like being a stoner kind of rapper for a long time, you know, because I had the Hotbox series, I had all these
Yeah,
songs
yeah,
and shit.
yeah.
So still, when I pull up to spots, it's like motherfuckers want to smoke me out all the time, and there's like this
Yeah.
level of pressure. They constantly like
Yeah.
I tell them no, but it's just like
Yeah,
they're just
yeah.
like
You
what,
have to be.
what happened to you? You know,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like
You're letting us down.
Yeah,
We thought you're Cypress Hill.
it's
Yeah,
crazy,
yeah. Wait, so but was there a scene? Like I'm clueless about what New York in terms of.
Beck knows about that.
She wasn't in the scene
Yeah,
so
yeah.
much, you know. But the scenes don't really matter now.
No, but like
I
what
met
I'm
a- we
saying,
met a
what I'm
bunch of
saying is
people.
like
It
Asian.
wasn't
hip-
really. It
A-
wasn't really a scene. I mean, even now, like I don't really think there are like too many artists popping and shit. Like,
I think there was a scene like China Mac and Shogun out. Like,
Oh, you
that
talking about
was definitely-
Asians?
Yeah,
Oh,
like
Asian
I had no
rappers. Oh, no,
idea.
they were
You know what I
definitely-
mean?
no.
Like, there was
Like
a scene.
Asian
I
raps
felt
back
like
in
a
the-
scene.
Oh,
Yeah.
there were definitely East Coast Asian rappers like Flowsick,
Mhm.
Shogun.
Yeah,
there
yeah,
was
yeah.
yeah, but there was
LS, you know.
there wasn't doing it like on the regular. Like I mean, you know, there's cats. It was there, you know. I guess there was a scene, but I don't know. It just
There was a scene of the main Asian dudes who do shows in the East Coast area, like as opposed to like West Coast area. We had our own rap, group
Just
of
like Asian
rappers.
comedians, we all kind of know each other.
Yeah.
That's why I'm.
There
wondering,
was.
yeah.
I knew about all the East Coast cats.
Yeah.
You know, Snacky Chan. This was all during that time. Like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
weren't part of that, obviously, during that time. But that time, those were the guys who do all the shit.
But
like
you also
if
see,
Collaboration comes into town, they're gonna hop on those showcases. You
like,
know what I mean?
If you look at guys like Shogun and like China Mac, you see how hip hop has evolved. Like if you look at, you know, like us right now, like in 2016 compared to like Shogun,
Yeah, yeah.
that was a different era. You know what I mean? Like
All those guys definitely come off a lot harder
yeah,
than
they're
all,
hard as
all of
fuck.
us.
All
You know,
those dudes.
they come off more in a gangster
Yeah,
manner. Like
yeah.
if you look at us, that's not our approach to what we do.
Yeah, we're not
You know
because
what I
we
mean?
didn't live that. Like I feel like China Mac like is a fucking gangster. Like you cannot say that he's not a gangster.
It's not even about living that too. I think it's more about because there's a
Uh.
lot of cats who came up very gangster who don't necessarily do gangster music too. It's just right now where we're at with music, we don't have to like try to dress the part
Right.
or
Yeah,
look
yeah.
the part. You know what
Shogun-
I
We'll
mean? Like,
fake the part.
Shogun backstage at Collaboration, he'll tell me some crazy shit that he did or some criminal shit, and then I'm going upstage like thinking about it and introducing like a violinist, like the little
Oh
girl.
my God.
Next is like, I go
your
back
eyes
to-
are all glazed over.
and Shogun is like a sweetheart. That dude's a nice dude.
Yeah.
No, I mean he's a cool ass dude.
Yeah, I'll
Like,
say this,
I
the realest
I didn't
moment-
know about that about him.
Yeah,
You know, I
yeah.
just had a perception
Yeah.
of him.
The
until I
realest
met him.
motherfuckers, I mean, just in general, the realest people or like you know the most powerful people, they're gonna be chill. You know, they're mostly like cool and shit. It's the people that are weak that, like we were saying earlier, projecting. Those are the people that are always gonna flex and like do
Yeah, I
stupid
mean,
shit.
people don't want to work with unpleasant people. You know what I mean? You
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
be killing it too much for people to put up with you if you're that horrible of a person.
Is there a people ask me this? Is there a time limit on rappers?
Yeah.
What do you think that is? Other than Jay-Z, who can keep going?
I-
forever?
I don't
And
think
yeah.
there is a time limit. I think that
I don't think either.
honestly,
men.
I think the hip hop genre is young, so we haven't been able to see all the stages, you know. And at this point, yeah, you know, you could point at example like Jay-Z, you know. But then again, like you look at Big Daddy Kane, and you're like, oh yeah, you know, that generation, but they're only like 2 years apart. You know what I'm saying? And also like Snoop Dogg is still killing it, you know. He's still making
Well,
it.
I will say this. I don't think there is a time limit. I agree. There's no time limit. But I will say this. As you get older, it's going to be harder for you to want to rap. And not, I'm not speaking for everybody, but I'm just saying in
Yeah.
general, as you get older, you want to do different things in life, and you have different priorities.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Rapping is really easy to do when you're a young person,
Yeah.
just because it's just like an outlet where you have not much to worry about and you're just doing that.
Yeah.
When you get older, you do have a lot more priorities.
Don't the other rappers make fun of you though if you're
Yeah,
younger?
but no one wants to go backwards in their career.
No,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think that
They
matters.
don't
Like,
know.
there's no. I mean, long as you're not the old dude trying to pick fights with
Yeah.
young dudes, you know, like you can do your thing.
It's like if we play collaboration or a show like that our first couple years as a rapper, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden we're trying to make a comeback at like 47.
Yeah.
We don't necessarily want to do that. You know what I mean? Like we want to evolve from that. We want to be a part. We want to put on collaboration as opposed to headlining it again. You know,
Yeah.
I mean,
years later.
But like I don't know. I think that there are examples for both. I mean, majority of the argument is, oh yeah, there's a limit, and older you get. But like, look at Killer Mike and LP.
Well, it's what
Run
you
the Jewels.
want. It's what you
They're
want.
probably the biggest they've ever been right now.
How old are they?
They're like definitely in the late 30s, 40s,
Oh, okay.
You know?
Nice.
and they had successful runs early on in their career. But like right now, they like it feels like wow, like they're really.
It's a rare
positioned
case.
themselves.
It's a rare case.
No, but
That's the
then
thing.
I'm
It's-
saying though, like I'm just saying, like
Well,
CeeLo
black
Green.
don't crack, Asian don't raisin. So
Asian don't
we
raisin.
could literally be like 45 right now. No one knows.
I just feel like there's no rule for that. Like
No, there isn't. There isn't.
Yeah, and so
But
it's just on you to like.
there's no rule for it, but it's the whole thing about it is like you can't look at it like am I successful or not? Like if you
Yeah.
want to do it, you can do it. That's fine. You know what I mean? There's tons of old people that still rap,
Yeah.
but the truth is the success level is very low for an old rapper.
Yeah,
That's
I
just
agree
how
with
it's
what
gonna
Dom said.
be.
It's,
You
it's
know,
about
it's-
what you want to do. A lot of people don't have the energy to do that shit or pursue it as aggressively as they did when they were coming up. Like I know that I'm not trying to like fucking book shows with Kubra like when I'm 40. You know, like I'm. So.
Yo, people think like there's actually tons of old rappers. There's a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm just the true reality is the success level of old rappers is hard to accomplish. Like
Yeah.
it's you can't.
I'm just wondering if out there like older rappers feel this stress, like I'm fucking about to become 40, it's over for me.
I'm
Well,
sure
all
they
those
do.
older rappers found other grinds.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
Shogun owns like a vape shop or something. You know?
I'm sure they do. You know what I mean? And to be real, the thing is, it's hard for an older rapper to connect with the demographic that their music serves.
Sure. Now, dude, there's all
know?
these stations now with all hip hop. It's amazing. It's all these stations with all hip hop.
Yeah.
So wait, so what's the ultimate goal for you guys? Do you guys have like an ultimate, or is it just a journey until we don't know?
Just have fun with it and help people, like do entertainment and just make money and like get yachts and shit.
I don't know. You see, like that when I was growing up as a rapper, yeah, like getting rich, famous, that shit is. I still want to make money. Trust me, I'm very money minded, all that stuff. But my main thing is like, yeah, I've been living the great life of doing what I love for a long time now, which is great. But I also want to create like dope shit.
Yeah.
So I think more than money is like I want to create really dope shit,
Yeah.
and obviously have more eyes, ears on it, and that's like the biggest thing more than anything, and that's something I'm willing to make that dope shit. I'm willing to sacrifice money to actually make something dope.
Yeah.
I
I want to be creatively satisfied, but also have a reception for it. Like I can make dope shit all day, but if no one's watching it, there's no fucking point in putting it out.
Yeah.
I want it to be received, and then I want to be financially stable as a kind of a follow up to like being creatively satisfied.
I that's important to me too. Just people have to like want to see it or want to listen to it. Like I'm not that insular, like introvert dude. Like
I
I
make
just
it for
make
me,
shit. No,
yeah,
I
like that.
love sharing everything I do. So
Yeah. Has becoming an uncle changed your mindset?
yeah.
Like,
I mean, a bit. You know what I mean? I think a bit. I definitely think I'm still a very big kid. But I will say I am definitely more grown than I used to be.
Seeing
I'm far more grown.
their sister that you've grown up with now, a mom, that's pretty amazing, man.
Yeah, like a part of me is like proud of myself that like I'm a certain way about everything, my outlook on women and all these things. But a part of me like hates that too, just because I wish I was like this unfiltered dude I was used to be.
You can't
But
be, man.
it's really hard.
Dude,
like,
my
it's kind
4-year-old
of-
daughter, I just put on Kiss FM, which seems like harmless, and all of a
Right.
sudden I hear Sophie. She's like, I can't keep my hands off myself. I'm
my
like, what
God.
the fuck, Sophie? Like she's 4 years old singing that, So
Oh,
it's
no.
like it changes you, man.
It's
You
just a
like,
creative struggle for me, just because I know a lot of my heroes just don't have that filter, you know.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
will say this: I will like just by experiencing that like love around me, I am a happier person.
Yeah,
You
man.
know what I mean? And I'll
You
say
can't
that.
deny when you're holding
Yeah,
when you're
and
holding
that's
your
why
niece.
I see that. I see the difference of like these tortured soul artists types, you know, comedians and shit, like who are unfiltered, all that shit, and the shit they go through, as opposed to me like actually kind of accepting
Right.
pieces of love there. I'm like, I'm actually a happier person because of it, you know? Maybe I'm not the most like edgiest like comedian or musician
Yeah, yeah.
anymore, but I don't know. I guess it's a balance of how you want to live your life. You know what I
Plus,
mean?
also being happy with what you've accomplished, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Like, I was such an angry person before I was, like, happy with myself, you know, in my life. Like, when I was unemployed, not rapping, not doing anything creative, that was when I was, like, the most hateful, the most talking shit, like, you know, just a sad person. But, like, now it's like I can't be mad about anything, you know?
What was the thing that you're most mad about? Is just the situation, or that?
I didn't think that my life would go anywhere, and I envied all my friends who had who were happy with whatever they were doing. I didn't envy their jobs, but I envied their creative satisfaction at like the ages of like 23. You know, it's like I don't have that. So this will be my life. My life will be an endless thing of just what could have been and being unhappy.
Do you think there's more pressure because of social media to make it like at an early age? Because people used to have midlife crisis. Now people have like mid-20s crisis.
It
Now,
doesn't
like,
matter. You gotta do it when you're ready. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't think I could have done it. I can't even say like I shouldn't have went to college. I should have done this.
yeah, yeah,
I'm happy I went to college. I wasn't fucking ready for any of this shit when I was 19.
Right.
yeah.
You know, I wouldn't have been able to come this far.
I would say this from being in the industry for quite a long time, and obviously I've seen young people just catapulting and seeing success in their careers
coming
far
up.
more that I'm experiencing now or whatnot. But I'll tell you this, like longevity speaks volumes, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And I'll tell you, like, as much as like I was envious at first, like so many young motherfuckers like getting all these opportunities within the 1 year that I've had to work for a long time. But on the other end of that, I've seen OGs that I've looked up to who was popping when I was younger.
Yeah.
I've seen it the same way, you know, that I'm looking at these young kids now, and they're just not popping anymore. It's
Yeah, yeah.
not easy to make
Just
that
to be relevant for
when
so
you
long.
see somebody popping, you think that's for a long time.
No.
You know, it's not. Like
It's
things
short.
change really
No,
fast.
it's,
Yeah.
I mean, and that's what hip hop is. It's a hype based industry. You have all these people like, you know, you have one hit wonders. You have the Natalie Imbruglias of hip hop. They come in, you never see them again. You know, and you
Poor
don't-
Natalie
and
Imbruglia.
you never know like how they survive.
And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
also think that that's the difference between certain types of artists. You can
Yeah.
have a hype one hit wonder type artist, and there's another type of artist which is like a legacy artist, which
Right.
means like you're building something so solid within that you can stretch that out for a long time.
Yeah,
You know
and,
what I mean?
the
Like
truth is, for indie and underground rappers or any musician, there's no money in music, you know. So it's like, yeah, you can moonlight as a rapper and go work at Kinko's during the day, but you know, it's not a sustainable structure as it is if you're becoming like an Iggy Azalea type. If you're not there, it's really you're not making money, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Do you ever see yourself having a family? I'm wondering.
Yeah, I mean, I say this right, like straight up, like I'll pay a surrogate. I don't necessarily want to have a kid because,
Yeah, yeah.
well, this is dark, but like my mom and then my grandma died at the same age as they were, like when my mom died. So they call it like the family curse.
Oh wow,
So I'm gonna have a surrogate,
wow.
like with my own, you know.
I didn't know that.
You can lighten it up a little.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
yeah, no.
But people are like, you're fucking lazy. You don't want to use your own pussy to have a baby, and it's like, no, I don't want to die when my daughter's 4. Yeah.
I didn't know it takes like is it like a
Super
like
dope.
just something with the body that can't handle that or
I don't know. It's just some superstitious thing. But also, like
Right.
birthing, like some say it's good for you to have babies, and then others say that I mean, it fucks you up.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I was worried with my sister too when she was pregnant and everything. I was like, man, I was just hoping like everything turns
Goes
out
well.
right. Yeah, it goes well.
Yeah.
You don't know, you know
You
what I
don't
mean?
know.
And you want the best for the baby, come out healthy and all that. Like I was genuinely fucking
Yeah,
worried.
yeah.
like there's so many things that can happen.
There's so
You
you
know,
know?
how
many.
many in those movies when people die from childbirth? It's
Yeah, yeah.
terrible.
I think that's a big reason that I'm just like a lot more happier these days too, is just the fact looking at my sister and me and like our relationship with our parents. Like we went through fucking hell
Yeah.
growing up. You know what I mean? Like our relationship was crazy. And me and my sister were fucking out of our goddamn minds as teenagers. My mom, my dad were both like terrible fucking parents. You know what I mean? Like it was just we never had a good, like we never had Thanksgiving dinners, no Christmas shit. Like it was terrible. You know what I mean? So now looking at our relationship and just seeing that we actually turned out to be like decent human beings, I'm like, how the fuck did that happen?
Yeah,
And I'm
also
actually very
validation-
happy about that. You know
validation
what I
from
mean?
your parents.
Yeah, I mean,
that's important.
Yeah, I mean, more than the validation, I think just seeing the less selfishness come out on
Yeah.
all of us, each individual, like my mom, my dad, me, and my sister, and seeing that we're less selfish and we kind of like let a lot of things go, you know,
Yeah.
like that we would have just been mad about dumb shit about each other. And then seeing that now, I'm like, fuck, like this is like growing up and this is where we ended up. And like, you know, this is that's what it's all about, you know what I mean? Overcoming all that shit. And we did, like, we didn't end up not speaking to each other forever, which we could have, you know what I mean? So easily.
I'm biggest fan of you, man, and just watching it grow and then seeing you as an uncle now, it's fucking amazing, man. It's crazy.
Old as fuck. I just turned 30, bro. Fuck.
Ah,
Wait till he's a
shit! Happy birthday, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Wait
He's
till I'm
already a
fuck-
dad. He doesn't even know. He's
I
already
kind of got a dad swag, I think.
little K-Town
You
dumb.
would be a dad, so like today when we were driving, you were like, "We're almost there. You gotta pee. We're almost there." I can see you. Anxiously dealing with kids.
You know, so I'm celebrating every step with you, and I think this documentary is really huge, man. It's a big thing. You know, it's I know it's taken a while, and so it's gonna come out in LA too, right? Like it's
Yeah.
gonna where is it gonna be shown in LA? Do you guys know?
CGV?
You gotta hit up
CG
JG for that. info.
Okay. All right.
It's at CGV end of April, but we're very proud of it, man. Like I honestly, the biggest thing that more than just the movie, the documentary is good. Like I'll say it's really good, but more than anything is the fact that like I get to share this movie with like
Your friends.
with my
friends.
closest friends. Like this
Yeah.
is all of us. Like we're genuinely four like best friends. Like I could genuinely say that. And then we're in this fucking documentary together in the period of our lives where we're like, you know, fucking
Yeah.
I'm eating some of this.
rock star,
Yeah.
semi like, living that, trying to live that
Please.
rock star life. We're doing what we want creatively. So
Yeah.
this is something that we can look back at and be like, this is so tight, you know?
We gotta get it on Netflix, man. I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then from this, what happens from it? Like, is there a next step or
Nothing.
not? This is just like to get the story out, right?
Well, I'll say this. I mean, just from being around like these three too, I think I just see like this our relationship in the next like, you know,
How about a tour? How about a tour after this?
Oh yeah,
you know?
I mean, we would love to do shows together, but
yeah.
I see our relationship in the years to come, all of us pursuing this, and you know, we're gonna have support with each other. But I think we motivate each other. Obviously,
Yeah.
like I'm not depending on anyone; they're not. No one's depending on each other, but it motivates us, and it would be amazing just to see us like in 10 years. We're all like killing it,
Yeah.
and we're like still friends. It'd be an amazing story. Like we go on a talk show, and they're like, "Oh shit, you're friends with these." Three motherfuckers who
Yeah.
still killing it in all these other fields too, whatever,
you
you know.
can't
It's like
depend on like a movie like Bad Rap to make your career.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
have to just see it as kind of like one child and like the collage of your career.
no, it's definitely not like a make it career documentary.
No,
This, to
that's
me-
when you're gonna get let down. Is
Yeah.
when you
Yeah.
think,
No,
like, I'm
no.
gonna break
This
Well, if it gets on
documentary-
Netflix, you don't know.
No, I mean this documentary to me is just
Yeah.
like a very personal
Yeah.
a thing for me. Like
Yeah.
I love just sharing this with all
Mhm.
four of us. The fact that we're all part of this
That's
is
the takeaway.
amazing, and this isn't like one of those making things. And I hope this more than anything and like inspires other kids watching it. you
Yeah.
know?
I need more chicken.
It's
Do you mind?
definitely no. Keep eating. Yeah, man. I think I was a philosophy major in college. I think what you guys are doing right now is definitely one of the meanings of life. I've been asking that more and more to all my friends because they're just mindlessly, just fucking week by week, like. And so this year I went to 2 funerals of people who have lost their children.
Oh my
A
god.
9-year-old and a 14-year-old.
Well, that's hard.
And I really started thinking about, okay, well then what the fuck is the point of all I can't think of anything that's like more painful, right? Than losing your child, right? And so like I was at the 9-year-old funeral, it was so sad. And then at the end it was the casket, and then all of a sudden I see this big mustache coming, and I look, it's Progress. He's coming.
Oh,
He's
Progress.
he was funny. You just see this.
Oh, yeah, he told me about
this
that.
big
Yeah.
ass mustache. But it was
sad.
it really just shook me. And so I feel like you think about, because I'm working my ass off right now. I'm just constantly working. Like, what's the point of all this? I'm basically just working for my kids.
Well, you're working 3 jobs.
I think
I'm
I
working
figured
fucking
out the
3
meaning
jobs,
of
3
life,
kids
man.
right now. Yeah.
I think I know the meaning of life.
I
I
mean,
mean, if you're looking physically and mentally, like we're always trying to achieve equilibrium. We try to clean ourselves. We get sick. We're trying to get healthy again to be happy. And then I also have the theory that the only way to really achieve happiness is to help people, because it's like a genuine, it's like fulfilling, and then you can see that grow and it's just spreading. It's like human, all that shit.
Definitely.
So I feel like that's what it is. Meaning of happiness, like, is just help people and feel good.
and on that note,
and even and that's I agree. But obviously sometimes we're very like even selfish in that sense. But I'll say this, like at least having a group of people, even if it's a small group of people,
Yeah.
that
Or one
you
person.
want, even one person, right? That you want to help.
And you share
And
moments
yeah,
with.
and
Yeah.
you want to do that, that's great. And I'll tell you right now, like I have me in my life, like more than my whole life in the past, I'll say that I have a group of friends that I can feel like just being fucking blunt as fuck, and being assholes about at times, and that's a big factor to me. Like I want that, that
I spelled chicken.
factor where like I can talk to friends where like just
Nothing fake.
nothing fake. I trust their intelligence. I trust like all levels of shit. And and I don't expect nothing back. I just want motherfuckers to do well. Like I want them to do well because honestly, and if when I feel that because I feel that they're good friends because when they do well, I feel like I'm doing well.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing. Like if you feel that way, then you've kind of accomplished this bond that you never, probably, never thought that would happen.
Well, it's one thing to want to help people, then it's another thing to be able to actually help somebody, And I think it's hard to make friends in your adult life. And it's hard to, like when, office people are friends with office people, artists are friends with artists. Like I can't imagine being friends with like, someone who works a 9 to 5, like in the way that we're friends. Like we just get it. So.
And that's the thing. The friend thing is it comes from the element of not being annoyed of each other. I think that's the biggest factor for me.
I mean,
like
it's natural. You could be annoyed sometimes, yeah.
No, we get annoyed at each other, but I'm saying I definitely want to hang out with them. Like like if I land in New York or whatever, like I want to hang out with them. That was even parts of my relationship that was failed. Like I've been with certain girlfriends and shit where I want to hang out with friends more than my girl.
Yeah.
That failed at times for me, and a part of that was maybe a fault on my part, but on the other end of that, maybe that wasn't the right girl. If I want to just hang out with my friends more than you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe I have to want to hang out with you.
That's like an old timey tale. Like the guy always wants to have guys' night. You know what I mean? And the girl's like, "Why don't you just want to have us night?"
That's true. I guess
You know
it is classic. It's kind of yeah.
Do they consider you like one of the boys when you're at like when they talk?
I guess so. I think I don't like it when girls are intimidated by me. Like they think that I'm trying to like fuck all the guys. Like I'm not.
No, we don't.
I've been in a very committed relationship.
You're not?
No, but it's the funny thing about it is that we don't. I don't think we treat her like one of the guys. Like she's clearly a girl.
I'm saying like,
and we, the way we joke around shit is like you're a
around.
girl in the group. You know what I mean? Like we don't treat you like, oh, she's one of the guys.
I don't like when people are like, I don't like it when we meet a lot of girls that because they're guys. Like they're gonna want to like meet girls.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of girls are like, oh, but she's here. It's like, yo, I'm not trying to smash. Go ahead. Some of these K-Town.
You get the vibes.
I get some vibes.
Trust your vibes. I'm not But hey, the thing is,
they're just hating on you.
We love that Aki's because most girls, they just kind of like sit and just like witness what's going on, but she's actively like participating and always just like there'll be like 30-minute stretches where she's just clowning. And we're all like, like we're just like,
and we're all like joining in, and we're
like
just
crying
cracking joke
because
after
she's
joke.
just making us laugh. Just 30 minutes on her own, like.
Well, I'll say that's why she's like a rare person because like everything she's doing right now in the industry too and killing it is because of the fact that there's no Asian girl like her right now in the industry. Like I'll tell you right now, like there's Asian female comedians doing their stuff, but the kind of like wit she has is like completely different. Like and that's why she's just killing it in the thing.
Yeah.
Like no real shit. Like we're just like high as fuck.
Yeah, let's get more high.
Hey, so how do you feel about the word bitch? Like if rappers or comedians, they always use the word bitch.
I'm not one of those people that get up in arms. I use bitch. And I get in trouble for it sometimes.
What do people say? Do they?
They just talk about bitch as a derogatory word for women.
Yeah.
But I mean, it depends on how you say it.
Yeah,
is it that's my bitch, or is it like get me a fucking sandwich, bitch?
Or just like this one bitch, I was fucking this bitch.
Yeah, like, but that's kind of an ignorant thing to say. But
Yeah.
I'm not gonna like call PETA.
I'll say this. She actually
PETA.
What she does with all her her fan base and stuff, there's a lot of people who are very like big feminists and all that.
Yeah.
The interesting thing about it is like like when she hangs out with us, she's probably hearing a lot of misogynistic things and stuff because we're obviously in our circle and whatnot. But I think that's more like it's like us really making us like look bad. You know what I mean? More and her, not just her like smack like trying to fight us about it. It's just like that's not making us look good.
Yeah.
Like we should look at us like that. She's probably just looking at like that's you're stupid.
I mean, I was just never anyone that got super sensitive about anything. Like I get hurt when people call me a chink, but like I'm not gonna be mad if someone's like, "What up, bitch?" I'm not gonna be like that.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like it's how everybody perceives it, And one thing we've dealt with too as college shows is like these young college kids were so passionate about feminism or race, and they started like grilling us about certain shit.
And it's kind of funny because the only time that we got grilled once on our college tour was at Williams College, which is
pretty bad.
a very liberal arts, like a very progressive political college.
Very
and
PC, right?
It was funny because we got called out on being culturally appropriative, but it was ironic because the only people that were calling us out were Asian people.
Wow.
So there were black people in the audience, and they were there to support us. They weren't there to,
Sorry, no.
to like accuse us or anything, but there were Asian people there that were, that was.
What, they wrote a letter or what?
No,
we were on a
put us
panel.
On a panel, and it had surfaced from a series of tweets by.
Were they like pointing at you?
That was all around that same time, right? With the tweets,
Yeah, it was around the same time that Iggy Azalea was being accused of like not wanting to be black when it's not fun, and we got roped into it in a way, and I think like that's when the situation becomes sticky, and I think the real difference between us is that we're American, and so if you have someone from Korea that's using the N-word and just kind of like that's never stepped foot in America, like let's say he was in Singapore his whole life and he's using the N-word and he's just being completely appropriative, I think that's when the PC police should really come by. These people don't listen to our music if they're thinking that we're appropriating culture.
I'll say this, we've talked about this several times over and over, how in K-pop in general, right, there's like crazy amount of cultural appropriation of black culture.
It's founded on cultural appropriation.
Yeah, it is, but they don't get questioned for it because as a foreigner, you can get away with so much shit. The whole I don't know better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
so we have to answer for their
tribulations,
and we don't get paid.
I think Asian Americans kind of in general, not even in rap or whatever, kind of play that role. Like we're representing, like when people look at us, they're not looking at us as Asian American, they're looking at us as Asian, right?
Yeah.
So we have to kind of speak up for like all these
huge role,
all these Asian cats all around,
entertainers
all around the world, and that's not a responsibility we fucking ask for.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but it's like we're just, they know we can answer.
Yeah.
Like we speak English, like they expect those answers. You know what I mean?
Like we can't be like all complaining about the plight of the Asians without first understanding that the way that African American people are treated in this country is very unfair. And if you can't admit that first, then you're being an elitist. You're saying, well, Asian people are more important, so we're our rights. You have to understand how everything kind of works together. Yeah. And I think that if you don't understand that, that's when you're appropriating culture,
Do you feel confident? Because I used to be really dumb. I used to be really involved in the young Asian college scene, but I'm just older now.
Yeah.
Like, do you feel confident in the next generation of leaders, or are they just entitled, spoiled, like they only know social media, or are they? Are there leaders?
There'll always be a balance. There'll be bad leaders and good leaders in everything.
Yeah, and our generation is spoiled because we think that we're gonna have an Obama every term. We're not. Obama was a miracle. He was the JFK of our generation.
Yeah.
And we have a kind of a pretty shitty election going on right now, and it's naive to think that we're going to have another Obama. Elections aren't inspirational all the time,
Yeah.
You look at history, like remember Lyndon Johnson?
Yeah.
Like remember Coolidge? These are not inspirational presidents.
No, but what I'm saying is I see you guys as leaders, but when you guys performing in colleges, do you guys just see like just mindless sheep, or do you see
it's half. It's
smart.
There's definitely not mindless. There's definitely kids who are a little bit oblivious for sure, but there are recently we just played a show in Pomona College, and there was these two girls.
Yeah,
they're completely passionate about this, like about culture and race in America, and what roles Asians play to not even just Asians, but Black to Latino, like everybody. And I can tell, man, they were legit passionate. They don't care about they don't care about just the
but they going off of the discussions or these articles they read on like JSTOR or whatever, and like they're going off these ideas, but then you go out in life and you realize, that principle is cool, you grounded in that, but sometimes you don't have to approach it that way and you'll get a better result. And you just get these life experiences that'll teach you more than you just arguing about it just to like sometimes even just to sound smart. Sometimes when I was college, I was like,
They can come off
I was trying to
pretentious for
flex
sure.
all the time, huh? Yeah,
Yeah, it can come
you
off
know?
pretentious.
Yeah, but
And I
that's
still
being-
believed it,
No,
but at the same
but
time,
that's being a kid. That's a symptom of
Yeah,
just
yeah,
being
yeah.
a kid. I think that,
absolutely.
that racism and closed-minded ideas that plagued like our parents' generation and very, very, very much their parents' generation, that's dying. These kids are open-minded.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And they're kind of used to seeing different kinds of people on stage. Like they're not like, oh my god, it's a black guy. Oh my god, it's an Asian guy. You know, like they are used to seeing different kinds of people.
Well, I'll say this: I do think that as much as they are used to seeing different kind of performers and stuff, I still don't think they're used to seeing aggressive Asians on stage.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I'll tell you right now, like when me and any of us do shows, like we're coming off crazy aggressive on stage. You know what I'm saying? Roasting people left and right. Like just the way any other comedian or musician would do aggressively. Curse on stage or whatnot.
Well, you gotta roast people right.
Yeah, and no, that's fine. I do, but I could just tell that it's exciting for them, obviously, because they're maybe not used to it. You know what I mean? And that's for sure they are not used to. They're not used to it. And I could also tell by the lineup of people they're booking that they're still not on the pulse with who are the Asian American like leaders in being vocal about these things. Like I don't give no fucks about a motherfucker who could do covers for like Bruno Mars all day. I mean, that's just being real. I don't care how amazing you sing. Dude, if you're doing a cultural night, that's why I actually really respect Asian hip hop artists. Because at least motherfuckers are like trying to say some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, but I think that we're allowed to be artists and that we're allowed to not choose to dabble in politics. I think that's
true.
That's
I agree.
perfectly feasible. Like, we're not angry Asian men. You know what I mean? Like, we're not the angry Asian man. Like, we live in America. We can be artists if we want without having to represent an entire race of people. Like, and I think that's when it gets annoying is when we're supposed to be representatives. We're supposed to talk. We're supposed to be mouthpieces. We're not. We're American kids that like music.
Well, I guess I'll say this. I guess it's more, but not about that. It's more about the taste level. I think the taste sucks. You know what I mean? I think like Asian kids' taste sucks. Like more than. You're right. I don't think they need to be. I'm not really political on my shit. You're not really.
That's what I mean by mindless sheep.
We don't have to be though.
No, that's fine, and that's fine if they book these artists that aren't political, like Bruno Mars covers or whatever. But the taste fucking sucks. You know what I mean? Like
that's because the Asian musical community is so small. Unless you're booking Keith Ape, you're gonna book Bruno Mars. You're gonna book Blonde Red. You know what I mean? Like there's really no one. And I think like they call YouTube Asian Hollywood for a reason. But I will say that if we don't choose to be political, we at least have to be able to handle ourselves in a panel when we're being tested, when we're being asked about it. We have to have good answers because if we don't, then we are appropriating culture. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. Well, I guess what I mean by mindless sheep is like the YouTube stars. Like, do you just see like all the kids are like, oh, it's like this guy's hot now, this guy's hot, but it's just like it's just a big high school fame game, right?
That's what the college booking industry is founded upon. Who's hot right now,
Yeah.
You should have seen the people at the Keith Ape show. He sold out SOBs, and they were going crazy. I have not seen anyone go crazy for an artist like that. And Ichima had just come out at that point, and that was pretty crazy to witness.
But we talking about
the SOBs.
His crowd, or are we talking about the Asian?
Just college crowds.
College crowd. No, that's different.
Most of those kids were young Asian kids.
Nah, that was like 50%.
There were 60% Asian kids there, young Asian kids, and then the rest were mixed.
Asian there's like Asian college kids. Honestly, there's a big level. There's been a huge increase of Asian bros.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you mean?
Bros, like you know what bros are,
right?
Yeah,
like the hat to the back.
Yeah, like broy. Like I think
so though. I think the bros have been around, man.
No, the bros have always supported Asian hip hop, and the bros will always be. They will love you forever. Those.
No, I think you know why there's a huge increase of that is because there's been this huge shift over the years of Asian kids wanting to fit in with white kids. Yeah. And I think there's a huge there's a huge Asian broness that exists now. Like I see more Asian kids closer to white culture than any other culture.
Oh yeah, because you know how many Asian people go to college? If you're gonna go to college, you have to naturalize there, and naturalization is broization in college.
Yeah,
that's the mass.
And let's face it, being a bro is fun.
Rex a little bit.
Well, it's like ignorant. It's a very ignorant.
I'm not. I don't think I'm a
bliss
bro,
life. You know what I mean?
But I have bro tendencies sometimes.
Hey, how many times after a show you guys try to talk to a girl, but you just have a bunch of guys just talking to you, blocking the whole time?
I mean, there's times that happens to me, and I'm just like, the Asian bro fans are dope, but they will love you like no other fan will love you. You know?
Yeah. We only got a little bit of
Yeah.
time left. What's the
Let's say something light.
well, yeah. What's
no,
the
it's not on a light note.
God damn.
what's the
show.
what's the funniest thing someone's ever said to you after a show, or the dumbest thing? Do you remember?
I was
The
like,
dumbest thing?
Yeah.
Honestly, the dumbest shit to me is always like the most like, you know, standard question all the time.
What do you get?
like-
What's the standard?
Like, how'd you get into music? You know, it's like, no, fuck that.
And then they're just like, come to my room.
I don't know. Like, I just don't like that kind of question. You know,
Like, how'd you get into music?
like why? Yeah, like you know, like what? Like I just, it's just like so, it's just a basic.
How many
ass
times you been
question.
challenged to freestyle battle rap?
A lot, yeah.
Like
I mean, so
hundreds,
many
huh?
fucking times. Like, fuck you. Like,
Yeah.
and there's cats who genuinely like think they're just like super great. You know what I mean? And that's fine. I respect the attitude, but I never, when I was battling, I never just like challenged people. Like, I did it just like if it naturally happens. You know what I mean? Like, we're freestyling, and like all of a sudden, no one wants to like stop because they're interrupting, and we're just freestyling over each other, and then it just turns into a battle naturally. You know? But I didn't go around like being like, I want to battle you. You know, it's like either I signed up for a battle thing or like it just naturally happened, you know? And these kids are just like, they just want to be a battler. Like,
there was a kind of funny moment. Dumb came to live with me in Brooklyn. I'll just end with this story, and then I'm gonna go pee downstairs. But he came to visit me in Brooklyn, and in Brooklyn, it's not like LA out here. Like, they didn't recognize him as much.
Yeah.
We went play this really hipster spot called the Flat in like this really hipster area of Brooklyn. And I remember he killed his set, and everyone didn't know who he was, but they were like, "Wow, he must be someone because he's so good." There was a kid outside, a skinny black kid, and went up to Dumb and he was like, "Oh, you freestyle? Or you battle?" And then like Dumb was like, "Yeah." And then the kid was like, "Oh, I battle. Let's battle." Like, he didn't think he could do it. And to see this kid's face when Dumb fucking creamed him, cream pie.
I wish
this
someone
kid.
filmed it. Did
Oh,
someone film it?
Wilson.
No,
We
it
can-
was
Wilson.
this kid like claims he knew
Yeah,
like all
that's
the
so
names and
great.
shit, you know,
That's
he
so
didn't know who
great.
Dumb was.
Willie
Yeah.
Wilson's a
That's
homie.
so fucking great. Well, thank you guys.
Wait,
Don't-
I didn't get to
Oh,
the
my
my
bad, my
I'm
bad,
gonna
my
go
bad.
pee.
Oh
I
yeah,
love you,
Awkwafina's
PK.
gonna go
See
pee.
you
Thank you
later.
for coming through.
I love you so much.
Yeah.
Hey,
What's the dumbest thing people say?
I'll just say
after-
not no dumbest thing, but my career and even me as a person has kind of progressed into like very aggressive, into I'm trying to be more nice. Like I was saying earlier, trying to help people and do these things. I have this web series called Kawaii for Men.
Hashtag Kawaii for men.
And we did, it's on YouTube, it's on ISA TV, and like we did a segment at KCON, and then after the first season aired, and then like just like all these like K-pop type fans are coming up to me and like saying like, "Yo, we fuck with your show" and shit like that. That shit, I just want to throw that out there. That it's a beautiful thing, man.
It is,
It's just having like trying to like grab these rap fans, because I'm like from New York. I'm from New York, trying to gravitate towards these New York. These motherfuckers always got their arms crossed and shit. And I get that respect from them. You know what I'm saying? But like, I don't know, man.
Which crowd is tougher, New York or LA?
It just depends on what the crowd's like. Because
Which
there's
girl?
the crowd that's most tough is a crowd where it's a showcase where like all the fucking audience members are all rappers.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they're all like,
Yeah,
I just want to go up.
Yeah.
And then
Which girls are hotter, New York or LA?
You stay with this question. I think they both know. But I just want to say, like, yeah, man, I think in general, him, me, her, like, when we get on stage, like, we never complain about the crowd. We always know that, like, shit, it's on us.
Yeah.
So,
Some
like,
comedians
we
do that
all,
too.
we
blame the
have
crowd.
fun with it, and I'm not gonna lie, I kill it. I make new fans.
Yeah.
Same as them. God bless.
Fans keep you going, man. Don't take your fans for granted.
Right on. Dumbfoundead, Rekstizzy, Awkwafina lyrics. Check it out. Bad rap
Yeah.
coming out theaters,
Laugh Factory.
online, coming out soon.
The legendary PK.
K-Town.
Laugh
Peachy
Factory.
Kimchi podcast.
Dream big. There's no other option. Channel PK Town.